All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the MGSR Partner Push Race Marathon today. Here, presented from 5 different games and 11 runners that are participating today. My name is Elstis. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We are starting off with a banger. We're starting with Metal Gear Solid 3 in the HD edition, European Extreme Difficulty, played on the Xbox Series S here by ApacheSmash and Jaguar King, and commentated by Silent Martyr and Adboy. Let's go. Enjoy the show.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Silent Martyr, and
I'm
with me on comms, we've got
Ed.
we've got a great start to our race-a-thon, I'm going to call it, partner push today. We've got Apache and Jaguar doing European Extreme on the Xbox Series S, which is a relatively new entry to the console for the series, and it's now the fastest time. So that's what we'll be doing for the future. And here we
After
go.
the end of World War II, the world was split into
They're going to be
two,
doing Foxhound
East
strats.
and West.
And
This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold
yeah, pretty much
War.
everything else will be standard European Extreme stuff. So game over on site, very dangerous stuff. The beginning of the run is pretty straightforward. Just going to grab the backpack, get our items, and then run through a couple of screens with really no interaction to talk about. Both of these guys have really solid times on the Xbox Series S, so this is going to be a close race. I would expect this to come down to probably the Fury. That's usually the branch point for this for races, because of how RNG heavy the Fury is. There's obviously slip up points before that, but for the most part, that's going to be where the biggest difference in time for any of these races, any of the MGS3 races are going to be. But yeah, just getting through some FPS draining grass and dodging these here gators. Now you can either jump that island section or run through it. It's about the same time. And then we'll head into our first interactive section with some actual enemies to deal with. We'll just do a quick little tippy-toe headshot on the first guy, and then kind of sneak our way through the rest with some well-timed shot jump combinations, where anytime, as long as you land the tranq dart on the enemy, the combination of that and the roll damage is enough to knock them out. You don't need to do that for the last guy. You can just knock him down and you'll get out by the time that you are into the next zone. Dolly Vodno's kind of awkward. That jump can be kind of weird, but for the most part it's pretty solid. And we've got 2 headshots here on the bridge. Finding the right spot for that shot is kind of difficult. There's not really a good visual cue to know when to stop on the bridge to line up properly so that you can just get those headshots quickly. But both guys have no problem. And on to Rosfet, where we're going to be doing a quick headshot and then a jump roll. And then a couple more shots here, just auto-aim shots. We don't need him to go down immediately, just fast enough so that we don't have to get seen by him.
Whoop.
Ooh, we got a nice little difference in strats there. Jaguar going for the slightly safer caution shot, and Apache going for the quick dive.
You can see here that the cutscenes can load really fast on Xbox Series S.
Yeah, this is crazy seeing this compared to my sad PS2. Yep, that's pretty much it for Virtuous Mission. We're just gonna head out and mash some cutscenes and then do the tutorial for healing. And then we're on to maybe the hardest stretch of the run from a like movement and execution standpoint. Like there's definitely harder sections in terms of like precision and stuff like that, but man, the beginning of Operation Snake Eater has some really nasty sections that have extremely unforgiving execution points. Most specifically, we'll have a jump here coming up right away when right after the boss cutscene, and that will be like a very, you have to jump right before the tree, and if you do not do that, then you will be caught by these gentlemen coming up. So it's actually pretty tight. But much like the beginning of Virtuous Mission, a couple of rooms where you're just running through. As we see here, jumping right before we pass the tree. And then we want to equip the stun here and use the advantage of whenever a stun grenade is equipped and ready to be thrown, it silences Snake's footsteps for whatever reason. And that's why we can walk so closely to these guys without them hearing. And then we've got another really tough section, Dolivodno Night. Requires you to be on a very specific path, both before these two jumps and after. And then a quick pause before we sneak around the bridge frame to be able to get across. If you go immediately, you'll get seen. Neither of them went for the bridge jump, unfortunately. No one's crazy enough to do bridge jump today. And now we get to probably the first real, like, stopgap of execution in the game. This is a very difficult fight coming up. The Ocelot unit, you have a lot of precision shots that have to be done in a very minute window of time to properly manipulate all the guards into being in the spots you need them to be. And it's also, you have to shoot in specific spots, too. You can't headshot every guy. It's a very precise strategy that definitely can cause a lot of resets. A quick menu here to equip the MK22. Make sure to not shoot that first guy in the head. You want to shoot him in the shoulder. Shoot the guy like, all the way down. And
oh, Apache messed up.
Oh. Yeah. Like I was just saying, that's a... It doesn't take much to have a...
missed shot.
Well, just a missed shot. And you can, like I said, you can even get that if you hit the shot but hit it in the wrong spot. Oh. Yep. Bad jump there. That you have to jump in a very specific spot over that box. Otherwise, you'll be seen by the guards coming in. Because to throw the grenade, to get the four guards rushing, you have to peek around the edge of the door frame. If you're standing in the door frame, they will see you. That's one of the other little quirks about the game that we take advantage of. Whenever you peek around a corner, the like Snake's model stays in place.
Oh no!
So the guards can't see you. Yeah. Apache's just having the same kind of trouble we all have on Ocelot unit. Just sometimes the timing just isn't right, and again, it's so precise. It's so difficult to stay on path and get all the shots, line up correctly. Because the auto aim isn't really great for this fight. A lot of times you'll try to lock onto a guy and it will just like aim you some other direction. Or you'll throw the stun and it'll go too far or too short. You'll have like one of the guys still up. Oh, he just hits the roof. Okay, good save. And got 2 more guys. He shot one of them, but he should drop any second. Yeah, there he goes. Just the same time. Meanwhile, Jaguar is making his way through the Bolshaya section. This part's a little tricky. You need to be able to make a shot to attract the attention of a dog, which will then attract the attention of a guard that's further down, and kind of like set the AI pattern in a way that you can run through this next section without being seen. We're going to use the box here to get the guard's attention, and then run through this directly. And then the rest of this is just avoiding everybody's vision cones, basically.
So you'll see Apache's gonna he will cure the leech instead of using the bug juice, unlike Jaguar King did.
Yeah, it seems like that's kind of it used to be consensus just use the bug juice, but it seems to be kind of personal preference nowadays whether you want to just burn the leech off or get the bug juice. Because I don't really think there's a amount of time difference that's a big enough deal to matter. I don't think one strat is really that much better than the other.
And Jag missed a shot.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jag didn't hit the guy there. Again, the auto-aim feature kind of is awkward here, so you ideally want to just have the character model line up properly and not use the auto-aim, but...
Actually, it's a pretty bad continued, because you lose a lot of time.
Yeah, because that's a lot of walking you gotta redo. And now we have the Ocelot fight. This fight's pretty straightforward. We're just gonna shoot him with the Trank and loop stun grenades to just try to keep him in his place as long as possible. We'll also shoot the goat here, because Ocelot's a goat fan apparently, and he doesn't really like that you shoot it. So it gets his attention, keeps him in spot. Oh, and he goes behind the tree. What a jerk. That's like the worst place for him to go. That last shot, if you want him to run directly backwards, and that's usually good enough to end the fight. But Jag cleans up just fine, and we move on to the cave.
It's a pretty clean fight.
Yeah, just other than that, the Ocelot going right there, that was pretty much how you want that fight to go. Yeah, we see on Apache's side how you would prefer that to go. Just having the character model lined up properly, and then not having to worry about the auto-aim at all. And then Jag's just going to go through the cave, just picking up the animals camo, which will be very helpful later. Allow us to not have to worry about our aim dropping when we have low stamina. Yeah, see, in there, Apache gets a better pattern and Ocelot going left, so he got to finish the fight a little bit quicker there. Between that and the Jag getting caught in the room before, that's getting Apache a little caught up. They're both in the cave now. And then we have one of the... It's not a super difficult fight, but it's very finicky. A lot of weird things can go wrong against the Pain that can just, like, cause you to have to restart. Because there's just no... There's, like, a very specific AI pattern you want, and if he goes off it, it can just go horribly bad. So we're going to throw a smoke here to keep his first waves of hornets from getting to us. And then we're going to throw grenades and hopefully loop headshots. Oh, his hand blocked the first headshot, so he got to sneak out of there, but Jag recovers very smoothly. And on to phase 2, where we'll just hold it in first person and continue to shoot. First wave of bullet bees won't do anything, so you should just be able to loop, and there it is. Nice, clean Pain. You know, a little hiccup there with the hand shot, but, you know, Jag's cool as a cucumber. No problem. And then Apache. Apache's turn. Oh no! Yeah, this is one of the hiccups I was talking about. The smoke grenade bounced off the Pain's leg and landed in the water and didn't explode. And if that happens, you have to restart because the Hornets will kill you. And even if they don't kill you, they're gonna nudge you enough while you're shooting that you're not gonna be able to carry the. Wow, again.
Happened again. Yeah.
Wow, that is so rare. Yeah, he's Apache trying to save it, but once the Pain starts jumping around in phase 1, you just want to. It's faster to just reset, you know, because the first half of that phase, when it's done correctly, takes no time at all, and dealing with him doing his like ballerina jumps and spins and stuff is just
There we go.
not ideal. Yeah, there we go. That's where you want to be.
Throw a grenade and keep shooting.
Yeah, because of the Xbox Series S having a weird interaction with the reloading, you're gonna see the runners not do the quick reload as effectively as you would in a different like PS3 version or any of the other 60 FPS versions. There's a weird interaction where the gun will lose aim sometimes when you quick reload too fast, so they're going to be doing it at a much more measured pace rather than just the quick mash that you would normally do.
It's weird because it only happens on Xbox. Like anything 360, One, or Series S.
Yeah, it's always weird when you have controller interaction from a different, you know, like the original controllers, or these games are obviously designed to be played on PlayStation controllers, so when you have that difference, you hope normally that there's no issue, but, you know, there's always going to be some sort of lost in translation kind of technology advancement.
Yeah.
Now we have the awkward Warehouse 1 jump here, where we want to clear this railing and also land on the boxes there. Jag going for the barrel shoot strat. There's also a couple of different ways you can do this room. They're all equally effective, and it's, you know, there's probably one that's like a second or two faster or whatever, but it's all personal preference, whatever is most comfortable for you. That's kind of what I like about this run, is like a lot of the strats are massageable to how you play, so that you can have a little bit better of an experience doing it. Apache is on his way to Warehouse, so he's still hot on Jag's heels. Still anybody's game for sure. And Jag will give this guard a quick headshot, and then we'll head our way into Grainy Gorky.
And also, we are not killing the end early.
No, that's actually slower, unfortunately. At least
And it
for new
counts as a
game.
kill, yeah.
Yeah, for new game purposes, it's slower, and also, obviously, as you said, counts as a kill. So we don't want to be doing that for Foxhound strats. So we want to, for Jag's side, we want to run to that second column. And if we are quick enough, we won't be seen by anybody. And then we just switch to the scientist outfit. And from that point, running in, the guard will not trigger the alert to send you back into Grainy Gorky. And on Apache's side, we're seeing the other traditional strat, which is to kind of just do the use the box to bump into the guys, and then as you dive, you send them reeling, and that gives you enough time to get out of their field of vision. We just do that to all three guards, and it's easy peasy. Jag just making his way through, making sure not to be seen by any of the scientists, just bumping into that guy, and that's smooth. And then we'll have a high five pretty soon here as Apache enters and Jag leaves Grainy Gorky.
Yeah.
That corner's kind of awkward in the box. You want to make sure you're not too close to the scientist there, but not too close to the wall and get caught on the wall.
He kind of got stuck on the door.
Yeah, that door is so weird. Like, I always try to jump through that opening, but it's tough to do. Yeah, it's awkward because the door kind of like opens in a weird spot and the table is in the way, so you can't really clearly get through that door. So it's not uncommon to get fumbled up there.
Huh?
And here's the high five, literally in the load screen. Love it. But yeah, again, not too insurmountable of a lead for Jag right now, as Jag will equip the important animal camo and move on to fighting the Thea.
I believe Jack only has one continue so far.
Yes. I was like, wait, yes. So very solid run so far for Jag. I mean, both
that's
Apache and Jag. That's weird. That usually doesn't happen. It's a little bit of a movement error, I guess. Got a little too close to the fencing.
Well, that was an interesting strat. He got spotted by the dog and then he shoots.
Yeah, it definitely has to have that backup known, because that was like very quick. He just knew exactly what to do. And then Jag is doing the cheese strats for the fear. We use the fake death pill to trick him into thinking we're dead, and then we use the stun to... I argue that this is intentional. You can say that it's a glitch, but when the fear is stunned, he takes all damage as stamina damage. So we just let the trap do all the damage, and, you know, Jag unloading a few shots in as well to make it a little bit quicker. It's important to note that we take the poison away, but we do not remove the arrow from Snake's leg. For a unexplained reason, the arrow affects where the end's placement is later on in the boss fight, so we need to have that there to make sure we can do the strat effectively.
What's wrong?
Wow, super clean warehouse too. That was beautiful by Jag.
What's that box?
Fantastic. Just how you want to do it. That's a very difficult jump and headshot to get in that room.
It's also just a really difficult room in general.
Yeah, that's arguably the hardest room in the entire run. Certainly, many a Foxhound run has died in that room. I have not... Oh, okay. Apache's going for a different trap. Interesting. I haven't seen this trap used before.
Huh? The enemy's here.
Oh, okay, so that's a little bit faster. Okay. Yeah, that trap does a little more damage. I'm assuming the swing radius on that trap's a little quicker, so it probably has more frames of animation on the pain or the fear's hitbox.
Yeah, it's a different trap, but it's pretty much the same thing. You use the revival pill at a specific time, and you trigger the trap to kill him.
Mad props to Apache for doing this in the Snake Eater camera and not the first person camera. This will probably be the last room I ever learn on Snake Eater. It's so hard to get that lined up correctly. Meanwhile, we've got Jag against the end. He's waiting right now. What we did is 3 headshots at first to get the end to move from his spot. Then we run over here to kind of give him enough time to reset his counter. And then we'll throw a smoke, shoot some shots to attract him down. And then we'll throw a stun, and then put him in the old loop that we used to... pretty much the loop that we've always used. Just a new spot with the newer strat. But we'll be punch, punch, spray. punch, punch, and then hold him up. Couple more sprays once he gets down, and then we'll just loop some nades, making sure that you hit him with the grenade. It's very important. Otherwise, he'll throw his grenade counter, and the whole loop is ruined.
Yeah, the loop is pretty much spraying him and grenading him throughout the
And then
whole
we'll just run to this tree. He always runs to this spot, so we'll just do a couple more smokes, a punch. Yep, just very clean, smooth end fight from Jag. This is a really good run.
That was clean. Here he will pick up the Mosin gun, which will be useful for the Fury and killing Volgan in the second fight.
You can also use it against the boss.
Yeah, the boss.
Although that's not as... That's just faster. It's not, like, necessary like it is for those other two fights. You can use the Mark 22 and just do a slower fight.
Now Jack's gonna climb the ladder.
Ladder boss. Yeah, getting to ladder boss and only having one continue, that's a really solid run.
Yeah.
And like a really weird, unfortunate continue too for him. Getting caught before Ocelot. Meanwhile, Apache's in the middle of the end loop as well. Smooth as you would expect it to be.
Pretty much doing the same thing that Jack's doing. Spraying and throwing grenades.
Yeah, this strat is pretty solidified at this point. Oh no! Snake coughed right when he was about to punch.
Damn.
Yeah, that's kind of why I don't like going as far. It's fine, he runs back to that spot pretty much every time anyways, so just lose a little bit of time there, but not a big deal. But that's one of the reasons why I don't like running as far back as Apache does, because the longer, the longer you wait, the better chance you have of him coughing because of that smoke grenade that you sit through. So I like the spot that Jag goes with on the tree, just because it's closer and it gives you more time, or less time to cough. And nice. Looks like we're gonna get a little bit of synced ladder here.
And now Jack's entering the first room of the mountains.
Yeah, these are not the hardest rooms, but they can definitely trip you up if you're off, even by a little. So we have a specific movement line we want to be going on here, so that the RPG guy will not see us when we go by him, but also the guys to the left will not be able to see us either. It's like a very thin tightrope you have to balance on. And then, similar to earlier, when we would shoot and then jump through a guy, same concept with the SIG spray. Although we don't need... The dive is more for not being seen than it is actually knocking the guy out, since he's knocked out regardless by the spray. But we're still doing the same concept.
And on Xbox Series S, there's no lag at all.
Which is really nice.
Yeah, because usually on PS3 or PS2, there's a lot of lag.
Yeah, all the smoke being generated really is like... It's one of the reasons why the end fight is like glacially slower on the older consoles. Because you're sitting there with smoke grenades going and you're doing SIG spray, and the game's just like, this is too much. You really need to stop. Jag just passing the best guard in the game. The most tactically advanced guard, for sure. And then we'll... What's this box doing on the mountain? A couple of headshots here, and then we'll bump into and dive through this last guy and move on to the hardest part of the mountain. Notice how much space you have to hit those guys. Like, Jag was like a full snake model away from that dude, and it still hit his box. You get so much leeway with those jumps. Yeah, Jag got seen a little too quickly. You ideally don't want him to notice you until you're actually jumping over the opening, or the ditch, whatever that's called.
A trench.
Yeah, there we go. Trench. Yeah, that's a good word to use. So we want to shoot here to get everybody's attention and get guys in the right spot. I'm gonna tightrope this cliff edge behind the building, and then if we timed it right, that guy investigating on the left will not see you, and then the other guy that's on the radio will come off the radio just as you're going past him. That's like, that was a monster fast load. Wow. That's such a long cutscene, and that was just like, boop. Immediate load.
Yeah.
Oh wow, J93 gifting 5 subs to the channel. Thank you. Couple of quick jumps here for Jag, and then we're going to be on to the highest RNG variance in the entire run here with the Fury.
I would say it's like the hardest fight of the game.
Yeah, because it's not only just the RNG, and it's like, oh, it's RNG, and then you can do everything easily. The fight itself is very difficult. You have to loop him in a very specific manner, timing-wise, with how you shoot. And if you shoot too fast, you can knock him over and then break the loop. It's a very specific loop, but on top of it, you have like his starting placement.
So there we saw the Xbox glitch where it kind of unequips your gun when you quick reload.
Yeah. But Jag recovered relatively well there and kept him in place for the loop. He just has to do it one more time here. Oh, that stinks.
You see him?
Oh, he barely survives.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow, that was enormous.
That was pretty clutch.
Huge save.
Yeah, see, it's a very easy fight to like screw up.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that he had that little error with the reload there, because I think he would have been fine otherwise. But that definitely threw it off, because he should have been able to get the loop right away. But he had to bail out on it because he couldn't, because of what you said, with the reload not happening.
Again here with 0 lag. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, the snow here would normally make this like look like snakes like taking a leisurely pace. And we'll see if Apache can get a little bit better luck with the fight, because that was a bad placement too. You don't want him to go right. Ideally, he would go left. That's where you really want him to go. It's the best way to get the loop.
Jack's having trouble to shoot that guy in the head. Oh, Apache got iframed.
Yeah, he missed. Yeah, he just missed that third shot. Yeah, and he had to do that. You don't really want to knock him down like that, but he was on the run, and it's better to have him. Yeah. Apache's just gonna try it again. I think he did that deliberately. Because, like, when he's flying around, you have no idea where he's gonna go, and it's just, like, super hard to predict what to do. He does get the left drop again, which is good.
Though the best part is that you can use headphones to hear where he's going more easily.
Not if you have a mono TV, dude.
Mono TV.
There we go. Yeah, that's... And second try, just perfect. It was a perfect Fury try. Unfortunate that he got that little hiccup the first time, but... That was probably about the same amount of time that it took Jag to do the fight. maybe a little bit slower. Yeah, I think that was a good call on him just dying instead of dealing with the roulette game of where is the Fury going to be once he starts going off on his little adventure.
Jagger's about to do the wall glide glitch where you equip the scope and the box and it makes you just fly
Zoom.
across.
It's so silly. I wish that there was like a lot more ways to implement that so we could just be doing that all the time. I would love to just like box glide all the way through the game, but there's only a couple of instances where that works. We got Apache doing a interesting variation of the Rykov grab. I haven't seen this one in a while. There's a lot of different ways to do this fight. There's like, or I call it a fight. It's not really a fight, but a lot of different ways to get Rykov. If I remember correctly, there's like 8 different variations of this strat that you can do that are all like effective in any way, shape, or form.
So from here to the escape, it's actually the more chill part of the run.
Yeah, we get a lot of like mashing and some like low mental energy sections.
Yeah.
And then we'll get a couple of annoying boss fights and then one really good boss fight. Get a nice break here. It's a good time too, and like the length of the run, like having the break right here.
But first,
Yeah,
let's take a look at your body, shall we?
it's a good time to read some donations.
What a beautiful body you
Oh
have,
yeah, that's a good point.
like a newborn baby. But not for long.
We got a host earlier from Raider Scott Gear.
Let's get started.
Appreciate you.
What is your
Yeah.
target?
Joseph with the 12-month tier 1. Thank you.
Or Sokolov?
Oh, and Apache dropping the prime before the race started.
Answer me.
Very much appreciated.
Who is helping
And
you?
Sirac, thank you for the prime.
Who let you in?
Thanks for all the support, everybody. You know, as we said at the beginning, we're pushing for partner for the channel, so all your support
But even you
is
must have your
extremely
limits.
appreciated.
And I am a patient man.
Exactly. MG2 will be the final game, if I remember correctly. But yeah, we're doing 5 different games today. It's a day-long event, so get comfy, get some snacks, get a blanket. It's probably cold where you are. So Jag is doing the make snakes sick strategy to get out.
Are you okay? Oh, jeez. Did you throw up?
Johnny's a good guy and cares, so we're gonna get him nice and close, and then
Yeah,
knock
you
him
make
out.
You make him puke, and then Johnny's gonna open the door. And here you gotta knock down Johnny. And
Also-
you pick up a smoke grenade from him.
Yes. Also, Jag killed a rat, which he's gonna use here to distract the guard and give him the ability to sneak out through this section. Also, he has the cigar equipped because you want to have your life as low as possible for the Sorrow fight, so that you can die quicker.
Yeah, it's an RTA race.
Yep, exactly. IG in-game timer doesn't actually count the Sorrows section of the game. It actually takes the time right before you start the fight and then just resets the timer to that time once you finish the Sorrow fight. But for race purposes, we actually do RTA, so it's actually useful to use the cigar.
Yeah.
And also, it just looks baller. Very swaggy.
Yeah. Apache's
We'll just-
doing the same thing.
Yep. Yeah, there's a few variations you can do here as well, but the the 6 strat is usually the most common used. And Jag with a nice smooth escape, no issues there. Sometimes those 2 smoke grenades you throw, they have to be in very specific spots, and if you throw them just a little bit off, you get seen, so your camo index is so bad right now, you really have to be very precise about what you're doing.
Yeah, that last room in the escape is pretty hard to master it.
Oh, I wasted so many, well, not wasted, but I spent too many hours of practice on that room trying to get those 2 throws correct. Very difficult. And then Jag grabbing the life medicine, just in case, for the bike section.
For marathon safety.
Very important for safety purposes. Like, basically the first grenade, there's like a darker spot in the ground that you're aiming for. That's where you want to land it. And then the second one, you want to hit the dog as close as possible. You don't have to actually strike the dog with the grenade, but you want the grenade to basically land right under the dog's face, or as close to it as possible.
Yeah, you want the grenade to make the dog cough.
Yep, because if the dog barks, then you're caught. So, dog coughs, that gives you enough time to sneak. Because the dogs don't trigger an alert if they see you. It's only if they bark.
Yeah.
So Jag just quickly drowning himself to end the fight. And since he had the cigar equipped, and between the cigar equipped and the damage that you take from jumping down, the like 2-story drop in the sewers, that pretty much puts us at like dead. So.
Oh, did Apache not pick up the life med?
I believe Apache picked up the life med at the pain, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Yeah.
He usually grabs that one. But yeah, there's 2 different life meds. There's one right before the pain fight, like as you're crossing the threshold to start the fight. If you like dive forward and right, Snake will like roll over, and there's a life med in that right corner. Or you can grab the life med that Jag grabbed, where if you stay up top before you go down the 2-story drop, on the left edge, there's life med there. Those are the 2 fastest life meds to grab for speedrunning purposes, that is.
Also, I saw that Jack go. He went to the right of the rock, so that loses a couple seconds.
Ooh, Apache's gonna use the grenade. Interesting. That's always a fun. I like all the deviants and variation in the strategies. They're very minor, but it's cool to see all these different strategies for the different fights. So the grenade's a little bit slower in the sense that you have to go into the menu and equip it, but a little faster in the sense that you just immediately die. So it's basically a wash. Again, it's like there's a difference in time, but it's so nominal that unless you're like, you know, shaving less than seconds, then it doesn't really matter. To answer chat, Zay, that's why if you do runs of this game, your splits will never correctly match what the in-game timer is. It'll always be like significantly off. And for a long time we didn't understand why until that got figured out. So Jag here is waiting till that front guard passes his view to shoot the one guard in the head. That will get everybody's attention without triggering a caution, and then we can use that time to sneak past them and get in the truck.
I believe
since
I was gonna say I believe Apal found that the sorrow doesn't count.
Yeah. And then here we're just gonna shoot randomly into something to trigger caution and get the guards to start moving to the alarm. That'll open us up to be able to drop the C4s, or C3s rather, in a very quick fashion. The box for the maintenance guys, interaction-wise, is equal to the scientists, so they'll be confused, but they won't trigger an alert when they see you in the box. So we'll use that to get by maintenance guy, and then these last two, assuming you're fast enough, you don't really have any issue. Because this maintenance guy's not even paying attention. And then we just sneak into the corner. Easy money.
The best part is that this room is actually easier on European Extreme than Very Easy or Easy.
During
Right, because there's less guys, isn't there? So you don't have the same opportunity to do that trigger.
Yeah, because on European Extreme you just shot a wall, you shoot a wall and everyone's gone. But on Easy or Very Easy, you like still gotta trank the people.
Yeah, because they don't hear it, right? Because it's their like range of fences is much smaller. Oh. Oh, that sucks. Jag just ran out of ammo on Volgan. He's got to see if he can wrap the fight up. Yeah, he spammed too many SVD shots during his iframes and just ran out of ammo. Oh, and he takes a death. Unfortunate. Yeah, that's kind of the tricky thing about Volgan. You can spam the SVD, but there are times where he's immune to the damage, and if you don't time it right, you can waste too many bullets and then be out. And Ocelot doesn't really give you SVD bullets, so you have to go with, you know, like either the pistol, or I like to grab the SAA for this fight as a backup, because the bullets bounce around, so if you miss, it'll still probably hit him.
That was pretty awkward phase one from Jag, actually.
Yeah, he got he didn't get the loop on the first phase down correctly, but that has given Apache enough time to catch up, relatively catch up. Now he's like maybe 10 seconds behind, maybe less.
Apache gets it first turn, right?
For those of you with any sort of epileptic type symptoms, please either dim your screen or, you know, look away. This section's got a lot of RPG spam and it's got a lot of flashing, so, you know, just keep that in mind. Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward section. Bike chase is just, you know, KO the guards and RPG spam as much as you can without obviously hurting yourself. If you have Foxhound going still, you want to be careful. There are some opportunities for the RPG to kill guys by accident, but neither of them are on Foxhound anymore, so it's less of a concern, but probably still something that they'll take into consideration.
It's probably worth talking about that. If you do enough lag in the opening of the bike chase, the first set of guards might not spawn.
Oh yeah, that happens sometimes. Yeah, you'll just like not have to do anything for that first section. You just wait for the Shagoha to appear.
Yeah. I don't know if it works on Series S because there's like no lag at all, but I know on PS3 it does work, and it can make things easier.
Yeah, it's just you know, it helps for Foxhound and European Extreme runs specifically, just because you want to take as little damage as possible in this section because of how easy it is to sustain heavy damage in the later sections, especially the platform bike chase section. It's super nasty when you're doing new game and you don't have the Cold War camo or anything like that.
Yeah.
When all you have is Oscam. Like, Oscam will keep us safe most of the time, but, you know, if you're taking a bunch of hits early on, it can make it really nasty. So this part's on the rails for the most part. So we're not going to have too much opportunity for Apache to catch up, as long as Jag just hits the grenade spots that you need to hit to keep Eva moving.
If Apache catches up, it'll probably be on Shagod fight or like the boss fight.
Yeah, it'll be down to the wire. You know, there might be some escape hiccups, or the escort hiccups, that you sometimes see where Ava's dumb, but yeah, it'll probably come down to Shagohod loop and then the boss fight to see who ends up coming out victorious. So stick around, pay attention. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's a pretty close race, actually.
Yeah, that last Volgan fight definitely brought it very close.
Here you gotta make sure to trank or stun that RPG guy or not. He will shoot you and you will take a lot of damage.
Yeah, that point blank RPG can take out more than half of your health bar at full health. So you definitely don't want that to happen. So for this runway section, we want to be shooting the gunners and leave the drivers alive. The gunners have scorpions and are really accurate with them, so you can take a lot of damage. But the drivers only have pistols, and they don't shoot all the time. They're usually more focused on driving, and the pistol doesn't do that much damage. So ideally, what you'll do is just shoot the 4 gunners and then just kind of wait. You know, this is a nice input break if you get all 4 gunners down quickly. You can't really walk away, you know, because that's not a great idea, but you theoretically could. So yeah. Because now that, you know, on Apache's side, now that he's got it, you know, he could just kind of chill. Ooh, nice. He got the one bike to crash in the other bike. I love doing that. So you want to be careful in this phase about shooting those guys on the bike if you're in Foxhound, because if you trank them and then they fall into the Shagohod's little spinners there, treads, it can count as a kill for you. It doesn't always, but it's possible. So you want to be careful if you carry Foxhound this far on killing those guys. Normally you'll just want to let the Shagohod kill them off. It doesn't really speed it up or anything like that to kill them.
It's kind of random that whether it counts as kill or not.
Yeah, like, until we figure out exactly why that happens, it's safer to just not bother with them unless you're off Foxhound and it doesn't matter. I've definitely seen runs that like were Foxhound except for that happening, and that's just a horrible way to lose it. Jag getting really good pattern here on the Shagohod. Sometimes the Shagohod likes to swerve like way far left and right, and it makes it harder to like keep on it with the RPG. But Jag did
that was a very good Shagohod for Jag.
Yeah, Jag did a lot of damage to it. Like you can see, he almost got it down half health. That's really hard to do. You can see Apache on the other end, almost an entire quarter of a bar less damage.
And also the fact that the Shagohod didn't get knocked back for Jag.
Yeah, that was like really optimal RNG. So here's the loop attempt. If you shoot the tread at the right time, right at the beginning of the fight, you can get the Shagohod stuck, and you should be able to keep it there. Iframe. Lame. That sucks. Jag losing it on like a frame, maybe 2 frames early. It was like just a little too early on that, on the tread shot. Yeah, and Apache also loses it. So it's up to Ava, and we never want it to be up to Ava. So let's hope for the best and expect the worst.
Yeah, Eva's driving is random as well.
I don't even think it's random. I think it's just like negative. She's like, where's the worst spot I could go? And just like goes directly to that spot every time.
Yeah, just trying to kill the run and kill the loop.
I just want you to be able to plug in the second player controller and be able to control her. Like, is that too much to ask?
Oh my god, imagine if that works. Please don't test that.
I don't think that's an unreasonable request. Just saying. Okay, so Jag's got the Shago, the Volgenhod, as I like to call it, phase. Nice and smooth. You want to shoot the tread at a time so that Volgan isn't facing you directly, so that you can get these shots off without him blocking it with the shield. And that's an ideal position, like right below the radio communication tower. Oh, Apache just missed the tread shot. So he loses him, but it's okay. This fight's relatively easy to recover, as long as you don't panic and lose it completely. Because all you have to do is refire the tread, and you'll be fine. And now we're on to the chill section of the bike chase, where we have a fixed number of enemies we can have, which is 3. You can choose to do this one of 2 ways. You could do it the way Jag's doing, where you just take them out and just don't bother. Or you can just take out the gunners and just let those 3 drivers occupy the entire part of the chase until they break away. Either one is perfectly fine. They don't have any time difference. It's on the rails, so it's all up to you. Just such a great speed game because you have all these. They're not even backups. There's just different ways that you can do these sections based on how you prefer to play the game. And that's always nice with a game that has like very difficult sections where you have to have like very specific movement and very specific strats. It's nice to be able to kind of like branch out and do your own thing.
They're not going anywhere.
Ooh, nice. Nice no-scope for Apache there. Yeah, this is close. I don't know if there's any time gained or lost in those fights. They seem kind of about even. Neither of them had any really detrimental bad driving from Eva, and neither of them kept the loop either. It's paramount you get that guy in the left truck. He's got an RPG, and if he fires the RPG, you're just going to take a lot of damage, and in older consoles, it would slow down the FPS to like -30. I don't think with the Series S it would really affect that, but it's not like you want to get hit by an RPG regardless, so. And now this, for me, is the hardest part of the game. This section is so punishing. If you have one of those hover chairs right above you, it's so hard to kill them. And they just unload scorpion shots into you. So it's so important to make sure that you keep the middle guy down, even if it means that the guys on the left and right are like surrounding you and just laying into you, because you can always turn and shoot them. But yep, and Jag missed the window there, trying to take out the right guy. So now he's got this dude right above him. And you see the scorpion clips through the shield, so they don't even have to lean over to hit you. They can just lean through, they can clip through the shield and shoot you, and be completely covered by the shield so that you can't shoot them back. It's a disappointing oversight, to say the least.
Yeah.
Because if they had to like actually stand up to shoot you, it would make it a lot easier. But because they can just kind of like push their hand through and shoot you through, it's so frustrating. But Jag took care of that relatively okay. He's down to just S health. So he might have to use his life med, but we'll see. Apache also having issue with one of the guys above him. He's gonna need to use his life med almost assuredly.
And he's shooting the lock with the SVD.
Yep. You can shoot it with the SVD, you can shoot it, you can pretty much shoot it with anything, really. Although you probably don't want to do it with the pistol, that would take too long, you'd probably die. But yeah, you can technically shoot it with whatever. If you've got like one of the assault rifles or the machine guns, you can use that too. Like the, was it the one that makes snake scream. I forget the numerical designation for that one.
The M63.
63, yeah, that's what it is.
So I'm pretty sure this race would go down to either Eva Escort or the boss.
Yeah, as long as Eva Escort doesn't goof up on either of them, then yeah, it'll be pretty much can they get boss loop and keep it. Because the boss fights definitely haven't been going ultra smooth all the time. I think only the fear has been clean for both runners.
The end was also clean for Jag.
Oh, sure, yeah. But yeah, in terms of both of them, that's all
Okay.
I'm saying. Yeah, because like you know, they each had trouble on respective bosses specifically. So yeah. But anyways, bike chase is over for Jag, and on to how to not drive a motorcycle in the rain, aka don't look behind you or down at the gas tank while you're driving.
Imagine crashing in a motorcycle.
No thanks. So we're gonna feed Evo right away and heal her. We don't have to bother with Snake. And then for this first part, we can just leave her. We don't have to guide her at all. We just run away and she'll just zerp into the next zone. This next part, we do have to guide her, but it's simple. As long as you're moving in the direction you need to be moving and you called her, it's super smooth. She's a jerk though, and like won't take the optimal path. Like she'll go around this tree sometimes, like completely for no reason.
She always tries to take the worst line possible.
Yeah. She loves wasting time. She's a big fan of slowing down speedruns. She's like the YouTube commenters that are like, speedruns are cheating. Like, that's Ava right there. And then we'll get to the next section where we actually need to interact with the guards. This part can steal some fox sounds. It's not super precise, but you have to be careful because you have to keep moving. So you don't have to worry about feeding Eva too much. Because if you have the optimal line, you don't need to. But if you waste a bunch of time in movement, then she'll end up needing to be fed in an awkward spot. So you want to go shoot left, shoot 2. Oh, he's sneaking right by him. Okay. I'm way too cautious to do that. I always shoot that other guy.
I would say this part is like also a unit where if you miss one shot, everything can go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. The movement's not as precise, but definitely the same level of like, you are screwed if you mess up. And as you'll see, thanks Eva, she's like 2 steps from going around that tree, and then every time she's like, bank left. It's like someone's locked onto her, and she's like, I've got this missile lock, I'm gonna go around this tree, and then I won't get hit. Haha. 2 IQ Eva strat. Then we just got one more section here. We shoot a few of these guards. We kick the medicine there to get the guard right in front of us to investigate. He'll walk all the way around. We got the one guy on the left. Wait for Eva to drop down. Make sure she starts moving. And then we'll just walk around. This guy's not even facing us. So we can just shoot him. And then there's one more guy way down on the left, but like he's literally facing the wall. He's just looking at the wall. Something really interesting on the wall that he wants to watch. So we don't have to worry about him at all. Yeah, and as you can see, Eva's down to under half, so she starts to slow down.
Let's see what you're made of.
If she gets to a quarter, she'll like basically just be like, I can't go on. Alright, so we've got the boss. We want to shoot her twice with the Mosin, throw her down, and then throw stun. We have to throw it up, not at her, because we have to wait until she's actually standing and about to leave. You need her iframes to disappear, basically. Because if you throw the stun like directly down, she'll still have iframes and you won't be able to continue to loop her. And then the same thing, you want to wait a little bit before you shoot her with the Mosin, because if you shoot her too quick,
Here I come.
you'll like, you know, it'll like be the 3-hit knockout, and she'll knock her down, and you'll lose the loop.
Your skills have improved.
Yeah, that textbook fight for Jag. Oh, wow, she didn't go down? What the hell?
Damn.
Weird. I thought that strat was just like 100% enough damage. That's weird.
She
Well-
had one. She had a 1 HP.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And there it is.
Shoot the carrot.
GG's.
Very well done, Jack.
Yeah, that was a really good fight too. You know, recovered very smoothly from that last little bit of, I don't know what that was. I'm not sure, but either way, that was a really smooth run. That was like what, 2 resets for him, for Jag, or just 1? Either way, it was very clean fight at the end, and just like overall really solid.
It's our only.
No major mistakes. Really well done. And GG's for Apache.
Well played.
Really close race.
Jack.
Yep.
What should I say?
Jag won due to new chair strats.
You're
GG's on new
proof.
chair strats.
Kill me. Kill me now.
And Jack says some people lost a lot of points.
Uh-oh. The gamblers lost their Drebin points. No upgrades for y'all tonight. Drebin will be disappointed.
There's only room for one boss and one snake.
Let's see. I lost 55k.
Casual 55k. Yeah, this was really fun. Follow the runners, first of all. These are some very talented folk that play all sorts of Metal Gear games and do the speedruns of them. So definitely give them follows, support their channels, and also stick around, because we've got more coming up. This is just the beginning of this. We've got 4 more games to come, tons more race, tons more comms, just a lot of fun left today, so don't go anywhere. You know, maybe take a bathroom break if you have to. I mean, let's not be ridiculous, but, you know, stay nearby, please.
We are within the estimate, so we will go to IGT.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that estimate seems kind of high for Xbox Series S, but we're marathon accounting, so
Yeah, it's
This
just
was-
for safety.
yeah, these were 2 fantastic runs. Like, it took a little bit of time for Apache to warm up, but other than that, these were some fantastic runs. Really well done. Tons of great execution all over the place.
What up, boys?
Hey,
Oh,
Apache,
hello. GG's.
GG's.
very well done.
Yeah, I
So
played
f-
rough in the early game, but as I was saying to people on my stream, I'm like, when you're playing Jaguar King, is the protagonist. Like, you can never count him out. So on paper, I might have had the faster run, but it's Jaguar King, so GG's, Jag.
Thank you. GG to you.
And welcome in, Jag. GG's. Okay, so
Hello,
first
everyone.
off, Apache. That smoke grenade is not nice. Not nice at all.
Oh yeah, I hit his leg twice and it dropped into the water. And the funniest thing is, I did it the first time and I was like, right, don't throw it there. That's where it's going to fall into the water. So I purposely did somewhere different, and it still hit his leg and fell into the water.
You hit both legs. You hit the
Yeah.
left leg and then you hit the right leg. I was just
Yeah.
like, oh my god. That's just, you know, like, the pain just does that too. Like, he can like sense when like things start to crumble and he's just like, oh, time to screw you over more. Haha.
Yeah.
But no, you recovered really well. A lot of really, really high quality stuff after that. I'm really impressed with you doing the Warehouse 2 in Snake Eater Cam. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that.
Because it looks cool.
It does. It looks really. It makes it look way harder than it is, and it's already way too hard. So.
For sure.
But yeah, Jag, you had some really good boss fights in this run from pretty much start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, my bosses were good with the exception of Volgan. I don't know what happened. I guess my hands were sweaty. I guess that's what actually happened. I only had like one shot left, and I just panicked and I game overed against him. But nevertheless, I mean, most of my game overs, I think I got 4 game overs over the run. Most of these, 3 of those were like in the areas that I'm not supposed to game over with, but nonetheless, it was actually a GG. I'm actually kind of happy with my performance, to be honest.
Yeah, I was commenting earlier, like your continues were in like weird spots where you normally wouldn't get continues. Just kind of like, I wouldn't call it rust because it wasn't rust, but just like unusual circumstances that like unless you know like that situation is happening, it's hard to react to them without losing the zone.
Yeah, that is correct. I mean, my first game over, where I game overed in the area before fighting the Ocelot, the boss fight, I was aiming at that guard. You're supposed to shoot him with a normal bullet so he can hide behind the tree. For some reason, the game decided, hey, you know that auto aim option feature that we have in the game? I'm gonna take that away, and I ended up shooting a bullet without missing him completely, and ended up getting a game over. I was kind of surprised and pissed about it, to be honest. So
yeah, that was my guess because I was saying when you did it, that it felt like the auto aim failed you.
yeah, it's just
I don't
gone.
like I don't like using it at all for that section. I usually just try and run Snake diagonally right at him, so I don't even have to bother with the auto aim because like that happens all the time. I feel like where the auto aim's just like, oh, there's a bird in the corner over there that you want to look at, right? That's where you're aiming. Like not this guy that's 2 feet in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's MGS3 to you. I mean, it's probably I think it's the only game that I have speedrun where like the strats that you are doing as a player sometimes are random, and which is kind of weird, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think at its peak, like at its hardest points, it's as hard as some of the other Metal Gear games to speedrun. But it has like a flat difficulty that's quite high, and it never lets up for the entire run. So um, if you put like how many individually challenging rooms there are in this run together, there's just so many, and it's back to back to back all the way through.
And there's so many rooms that have these like micro variations of strats that you need to learn, and like you have like the ideal route that you want to do, but then you'll have these like very minor things that happen, and then you're like, oh, I've got to do this thing instead now. And like you have to spend all this time learning all these things so that you can actually keep runs together. It's such, like you said, it's a weird run. It's a very weird run, but it's a really fun run too.
Oh yes,
Yeah, yes,
awesome.
yes, exactly. I mean, the best thing about speedrunning this game is when everything goes the way you wanted it to be. It's probably the best game in the entire series that have high reward for your accomplishment, unlike other games.
Speaking of accomplishments, Jag, I think it's worth saying that like you've been here longer than most of the people who are participating in this like race event today. You've been around much longer than pretty much every majority of the active players now. You compete in every single game at the highest level, and you always say yes to races. And then you play someone like me who plays this game every day, and you can still win. You're inspirational to me, mate. You're the reason I got into the game, and I just want to say, like, I don't feel bad about losing to you, and I think it's really impressive that you can beat me at this game.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, my friend. And that's
No
it. Yeah, I mean, anyone can be a speedrunner. Anyone can beat me. Anyone can beat Apache. I mean, you just keep on practicing and be passionate about it, and you'll be reaching the stars and even beyond the stars.
And probably reset and get a backup reset button so you don't, have to like worry about when your reset button breaks from all the reset you're doing.
Yeah, correct.
There's a lot of resetting on your way to to foxhounding in this game, and like the curse still goes on. No one's had a foxhound in MGS3 since 2013 in a race or a marathon performance, and you know, I look forward to the next time we race, Jag, because one of us will get it. We're just gonna keep trying.
Oh, of course, that foxhound is gonna happen. Definitely.
I'm still of the mindset that we should organize a race to Foxhound event where we just have a bunch of people all trying to get it at the same time, and we could just kill the curse once and for all.
I would love to see, now that we have the ability to have like 7 runners on the screen at once, a Foxhound eliminator. So as soon as you lose Foxhound, you're out, and it's the last person standing.
That would be fun too. Lots of
Oh.
options. But yeah, I
Ed,
mean,
your first commentary, by the way. Good job, mate. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, thank you very much for the commentary as well.
I can't speak for Ed, but I love doing comms, so I'm always happy to jump in and be able to, you know, like give some insight on what's going on, as well as keep everybody engaged in the different shenanigans that these runs have to offer.
I
Yeah.
had a huge problem in the last room with guards, by the way. I walked too far forward, so the guards started walking towards me, and then everything went to hell. And I still managed to not get a continue, but I must have lost so much time just doing that. It just all went to crap.
Didn't
I'm still-
seem like it was too bad, to be honest. Like, I didn't notice it until it was like well past what had happened or what had gone wrong. So I don't think you lost. I think honestly, the most of the time you lost was just to the pain. That was definitely
I had
just super
three,
rough.
3 continues on the Ocelot unit and 2 on the pain. One on the Fury quite late, and then I failed the Shaggerhard loop. I definitely had opportunities to win this race and just didn't take them. But Xbox life.
Yeah, I mean, neither of you guys held loop for Shagohod, so it was a good race because there was really no point where either one of you had an unsurmountable lead. It just, you know, like you said, the opportunities were there, it just didn't happen this time.
Yeah.
But this was fun. It was a great race. A lot of really good strats. You guys did a lot of different strats too, which was really cool. A lot of different variations to different rooms and stuff, which was really nice to see. It's always good to have you know, a bunch of different ways to do rooms so that people feel comfortable, that they don't feel like they're like locked into having to do it a specific way.
Yeah, it's not linear at all. Everyone can express themselves in this game through how you play.
Yeah, there's only like maybe 3 or 4 rooms that you absolutely have to do it a specific way, or it will just be like way slower.
Mhm.
So, and there is the pigeon. Yep, 4 continues. Okay, yeah, 4. That's just a really solid run. Not gonna lie.
I mean, minus the weird game overs, should have been like 1 continue, but whatever. That's a fun run.
I think we're
Yeah, I
both
think-
capable of better, and you'll see that the next time we race, I'm sure.
Yeah, me too. Can't wait for that.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm sure everybody else in chat is definitely looking forward to it. But also what I'm looking forward to is the next race, which is coming right up next. But yeah, thank you guys so much for racing. This is really cool. You guys put on a great show, and like I said, definitely look forward to doing it again sometime real soon.
All right. Now that we have all the IGTs on screen again, thank you so much, all of you, Apache, Jack for running, and of course Martin and Ed for commentating for us today. As I said earlier already, we're getting ready for 4 more races today. Next up is Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, done by Puzon versus Mini Omega King, and commentated by Sparty versus Roy. We're just getting everyone set up with a short intermission, and be right back. Thanks everyone.